Hello, Pastor Brian here, and welcome to this week's Midway, our weekly newsletter of LifeWay Community Church. Last Sunday we looked at King Saul. He's the king who was chosen for his great size, and he was chosen by the people because they wanted him to fight their battles for them. His job was to fight and to win, and he was a great fighter. But unfortunately, when he did fight, he did it all for his own glory, for his own credit, for his own praise. And when situations got to be too big, too tough, we see him backing out. We see him quitting. When he made poor choices, we see him blaming other people. Like he blamed Samuel the prophet or his fellow soldiers or the people of Israel, saying, I'm making bad choices because of peer pressure, because of popularity, because the prophet was late in showing up, so I had to do some stuff I wasn't supposed to do. Constantly, King Saul played the victim. Now, there's real victims in our world, people who don't have a way out, people who truly are being oppressed and hurt by others. But too often, people like King Saul play the victim, in quotes. People who really, they have a way out, but they don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to do the hard things. They don't want to do the work. And so they blame other people. They blame their situation. They just don't blame themselves. So last Sunday, I asked you, don't play the victim. Don't be the victim, but be the hero. We see young David stepping up in the midst of all these soldiers to face Goliath, and he said, I'll go. He chose to be the hero. You see, a hero is someone who in any story, basically, they're the one who steps up to save the victim. In any story that we tell, whether in a movie, a commercial, real life, a victim is there to make the villain look bad and the hero look good. And that's what happens in the story in 1 Samuel 17. And in fact, Saul would go on to blame David for his jealousy, for David's success. He was a victim of David's success in this battle and those to come. David chose to be the hero. Now, a hero is no one who's perfect. They are deeply flawed oftentimes, but they are people who can change, who are transformed, who go through a process and come out better at the end. My urgent request last week is that we be the hero, both in our personal lives, but also as a church, to realize that we are not victims of our circumstances. We are not victims of a changing culture. We need to take responsibility for our actions and step up and act appropriately, decisively, and meaningfully. So this week coming up, I asked you to read Romans chapter 12, and we're going to look at the one thing that made David succeed. Yes, he stepped up as the hero, but as we read in Hebrews chapter 11, there were a lot of people, heroes of the faith, who stepped up and suffered greatly. So why didn't David get killed? He could have easily been just squashed by Goliath. Why did he succeed? The key to his success will be the key to your success as well, and our success as a church. So what is that one thing? What is that key that made David succeed when everyone else feared that they would fail? That's what we're going to talk about this coming Sunday. Now, this coming Sunday as well, we have some training in the afternoon, immediately following the morning service. So bring a sack lunch. This is training that is required for all of our staff, for all of our volunteers. We're going to run it a couple times here in the very near future, but this is the first one. Get in on it while you can, because this is all about having a safe church, a safe environment, making this the safest place on earth. And what does that mean? What does that require from us as a faith community? So that's what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be led by Marsha Pletz. There will not be official child care, but call the office and talk to me, and we'll see what we can do if you have kids that will be with you on Sunday as well. So this Sunday, please read Romans chapter 12 and be prepared to talk about the one thing that will make or break your success as a hero. Until then, God bless. Have a great week.